Hey guys, this is Dan. I'm going to show you today how I took a tiny giant ballpoint pen and made it into a rollerball pen. There's a couple of modifications that we have to make in order to make a rollerball refill work in a ballpoint pen. One of the issues with this kit is when we take our rollerball refill and we put it into the nib of the tiny giant, it sticks out way too far. That's not going to work. And if we try to use the regular spring from the ballpoint kit, that doesn't work very well either. So what I did was I took the rollerball refill, I pulled the cap off, and I used a hacksaw blade to cut it down to the size that would allow the protrusion from the nib that I wanted. So here's my refill, and I put the little piece that I cut over it. And then when I put it into the nib, it comes out as far as I want, and you can adjust it. Rollerball kits also have a spring that's in the back of the pen in the finial section that ballpoint pens do not have. So I took the spring out of a junior gent kit and I'll put it into the finial of the tiny giant to make that work. And the next step is that I'm going to want to get a size for how long I want to make my tube. So I'm going to put my parts together with my spring in the back and figure out how long I want it to be. And I already measured that, so that's about what I want. And the caliper reads 3.679 inches. So that's what we're going to try to make our pen blank length to make this work. So I have here my pen blank that I cut and I drilled out on the lathe. I have a separate video on that if you're interested in that particular technique. And the other problem, of course, with translating this ballpoint pen into a rollerball kit is that the tube is not long enough to make this a rollerball kit. Ideally, I'd be able to find a tube that was the right size, but longer, that I could cut to fit this. I don't have a tube like that here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take two of the tiny giant tubes and glue them in, and then I'll cut off the ends. So I turned, sanded and finished, assembled my tiny giant rollerball conversion pen, and I'm actually really happy with it. It came out great. I'm happy with the length. It's got a nice amount of wood to show off for your blank material, and it still gives you a nice slender pen that actually is much more of a normal sized pen to hold in your hand than the regular tiny giant is. So it feels really nice. It's a great size. And I'm really happy with it. Just as a point of comparison, here's the regular tiny giant ballpoint next to the rollerball conversion that I made. Gives you an idea of how much longer it is. Also, for another comparison, see the tiny giant conversion is just a little bit longer than the Zen, but a lot thinner. So I'm happy with this. I think I'll probably make some more at some point. I do want to make mention that I did trim the length of the barrel down a little bit more from what I indicated before. This came out at 3.529 inches on the calipers. You'll need to experiment for yourself to see what you like. Depends on your spring and other things that you use as well, but that'll give you a starting point, the 3.529 inches length. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Have a great day.